And good evening, everyone. I think we're on live na. And hello po sa ating mga participants here live at our official Facebook page and as well as in our Zoom meeting tonight. Good evening. Okay, so ayan, again, good evening Cotabato State University. Isang napakaganda, malamig at maambon na gabi po sa ating lahat. Sabado na naman po ng gabi at nandito na naman po tayo sa isang episode ng ating Kapangabong 5.0. Okay, it all start with our Cum Laude Balancing ACADS with Love Life, our first episode. And nasundan naman ito siya ng From Clicker to Clickbait, the exploration of technologies. And our previous episode, we had our Bangsa Talk with the theme Separating Facts from Fiction. And now, we are slowly or gradually approaching the end of the episode ng ating Kapangabong 5.0. Now, tonight, for our fourth and last episode naman, we have the burnout with a question, do you have an imposter syndrome? Meron ka bang imposter syndrome? So, as student or even not student, we commonly feeling overwhelmed, hindi ba? Exhausted, and like a fraud. Sa tingin natin, iba yung pinapakita natin sa public sa kung sino talaga tayo. And you are not alone, hindi ka po nag-iisa sa ganyang state. Tonight, we are tackling burnout, the imposter syndrome, and itong dalawang to, the burnout and imposter syndrome, are two sneaky villains. Kumbaga sila yung mga kontrabida sa ating buhay that can impact anyone and everyone. And by this episode, sa ating fourth and last episode, we will explore how to recognize these signs and more importantly, how to fight back and reclaim our power. We will experience moments of self-doubt, hindi ba? Minsan, pinagdududahan natin yung sarili natin kung ito ba talaga ako? Hindi ako to. Diba? Minsan nasasabi natin yan sa sarili natin. But when those moments become a constant companion, ito na yung time para mag-pay attention tayo sa sarili natin because your mental health is important. Always remember that. And for tonight's discussion on burnout and imposter syndrome, this is for anyone. This is for everyone. Again, who's ever felt like they're faking it until they make it. Diba, commonly nafe-feel natin yan sa sarili natin. And because hindi kayo nag-iisa, this episode will make you feel that you are not wrong. Diba? Lahat ng nafe-feel natin is valid because tayo yun. Tayo na to, oh. And there's hope for a change. Always remember that. Okay? And I know lahat kayo is ready nang makinig, ready nang matuto, ready nang mag-take note because this episode is very important. So, of course, before anything else, we will start with our opening preliminaries, starting with our prayer to be followed by the national anthem and CSU hymn.
Migimu tolangit sikoy ko kamigimu taaldo woy bulan ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kabituunan ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kalibutan manama marantog ka warag po ko ilingkoy ko o Diyos kahibulungan ka busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم اجمع شمل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمم في مدينة دمام، وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا، آمين يا رب العالمين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama, mawantog ka. Warag po ko ilingkod ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Sa langit mo, ay hinatang tulad, sa puso't isipan. Ang lahat umumilay na nagbuwis ng buhay, nasa piling na ng may kapal. Bangsa mo'y tagumpay, bunga ng pawis mo't buhay. Kapalapan, katarungan, ay ating nang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain mo sa Christians from Mount Sinai and Tree. Our joys, the best we bind together. Today, to all no matter day, we come to you. Beloved alma mater, you are best, freedom deals from above. And triumphant institution, you're alive, inspiration, North of us, University. We stand united with hopes and dreams. Here are our success serene, fortress of peace and lasting strife. Pride of empire, God of revolution, beloved alma mater, rivers and breeze, what goes to be thy proud. And triumphant institution, you're alive and inspiration, God above the state, University. God above the state, University.
Okay, there you have it, everyone. Now at this moment of time, without further ado, I know na handang-handa na rin tayong lahat upang matuto, makinig at mag-take note. At this moment of time, I would like to call on the University Student Council's President, Honorable Adrian N. Balandras, to give his opening remarks. Let's give him a virtual round of applause, please.
Ayan, thank you so much, Ms. Myra. Marinig po ba ako? Okay. So, una sa lahat, my courtesy and respect to our university dignitaries, headed by our university president, Professor Sema G. Dilna, to the Vice President for Academic Affairs, as well as the University Student Council Advisor, Dr. Kundo M. Pam Jr. To all the USC officers na nandito po sa ating Zoom and nakikinig sa ating live, local student councils, the governors and their members, sa proponent po ng ating event, and of course kay Sir, sa ating guest speaker na later mas lalo pa ninyong makikilala. Ayan, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Isang maganda at maulan na gabi po sa ating lahat. Ayan, gusto ko lamang pong ipaalam sa inyo na tayo po ay nasa ika-4 at ikahuling yugto na ng ating programa. So mahigit isang buwan din ho tayong magkasama at na linggo-linggo ay nagbibigay tayo ng aral. Bagamat tayo ay medyo na-delay lang ngayon ng isang episode, hindi naman po kami papayag na magtatapos na lang po ng ganun na ganun. Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta sa ating programa simula pa po nung day 1. At ngayon, andito na naman po tayo sa isang makabuluhang gabi na kung saan alam ko mapupuno tayo ng aral. Sa isa na namang usapin, sa isang topic na napakahalaga ngayon. Here we will surely learn some strategies how to overcome your challenges in life. I do believe lahat naman tayo may kanya-kanyang pinagdadaanan sa buhay. Ang tanong, paano nga ba natin yon masusolusyonan? So ayan, hindi ko na po patatagalin pa. I formally open this program. Sit back, relax, makinig. See you sa comment section. Mag-enjoy lang po tayo at higit sa lahat, magtanong. That's all. Thank you po. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Honorable Adrian and Belandres, for formally opening this program. Now, at this moment of time, to read to us the rationale of this event, may I call on the University Student Council's Department of Internal and External Affairs Director, none other than Ms. Bayhanan Abi.
Thank you. So, thank you, Press, for the opening remarks. Now that we've reached the final episode of our Kapangabong 5.0 webinar series, allow me to read the rationale for today's session. Kapangabong 5.0 is a 4-episode webinar series addressing pressing academic and social issues delivered weekly. Each episode posters critical discussion and informed action through an interactive format, enabling real-time interaction between speakers and participants. This approach promotes active learning in the exchange of diverse perspectives for a deeper understanding of complex issues. So the last and final episode, Burnout. Do you have imposter syndrome? Burnout and imposter syndrome are closely linked. The self-doubt inherent in imposter syndrome fuels the relentless striving that leads to burnout. Examining this connection reveals how perfectionism and fear of failure contribute to both, highlighting the need for self-compassion and realistic expectation in high-pressure environments. And that is the rationale for our final episode. We hope this session empowers us to reflect on our mental and emotional well-being and remind us that it's okay to slow down, be kind to ourselves, and simply do our best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Abby, for reading the rationale of this event. Now, at this moment of time, on behalf of University Student Council, we would like to acknowledge our participants live here only at our official Facebook page in CSU University Student Council page. Thank you so much, everyone, and as well as our participants here also in our Zoom meeting. Good evening, good evening. Isang magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Ayan. Sa lahat po ng sumusuporta, nag-aabang, nakikinig upang matuto at syempre, para mag-take note sa mga bagay-bagay na dapat nating matutunan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Ayan, I know na lahat tayo isandang-handa ng makinig at matuto. Now at this moment of time, we would like to introduce our resource speaker for our 4th and last episode of Kapangabong 5.0. Our resource speaker for tonight's episode is a licensed clinical psychologist specializing in trauma recovery, working with individuals across the lifespan from children to adults. With a compassionate and non-judgmental approach, he provides a safe and supportive environment for individuals to heal and grow. His expertise encompasses a range of areas including recovery from sexual abuse and substance abuse, clinical case management, addressing violence against women and children, and industrial psychology. In his work, Sir Tao has helped survivors of childhood trauma process their experiences and develop coping strategies. For instance, he helped a young woman overcome her addiction to substances, which was a result of being a victim of human trafficking. He has also managed complex clinical cases, including those involving multiple diagnoses and treatment plans. Additionally, Sir Tao has provided counseling services to victims of domestic violence and abuse, helping them regain their sense of control and self-worth. In the realm of industrial psychology, he has facilitated team-building workshops and helped organizations improve their workplace dynamics, resulting in improved collaboration and productivity. On behalf of the University Student Council, we are very honored and delighted to introduce to you our 4th and last episode of Kapangabong 5.0 resource speaker, none other than Mr. Honorable Leo Lester M. Tautau. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to everyone. And so, malamig dito. Okay. So, thank you for inviting me with this inyong episode 4, Kapangabong 5.0, Burnout. Do you have an imposter syndrome? Okay. This is a very interesting topic, especially nowadays, due to also different generations and also maybe some other factors. Okay, so now we will divulge ourselves, and please do be participative with this session po natin. Kasi mamaya meron tayong activities which is therapeutics, kung tsaka pwede rin nating magamit for our self-care moments. Okay? So, sige. So I'm very thankful for it, for the chance that I could share my expertise with you guys. Okay? Sige, next slide po tayo. Okay, so I am Sir Tao, or you may call me Sir Leo or Sir Tao with this webinar, and I am happy that you are here. Okay, so ilan ba yung mga natin, mga nanonood? Okay, so if you have a question on my topic, you may chat on the chat box, and at the same time, you maybe later you could share your experiences. Okay, sige. Next slide tayo. Okay. So, before that, magkwento muna ako. Balik tayo sa slide. Yun. So, before we go to our topic proper, so magkwento muna ako. So, I do have a patient with having a clinical depression. One reason bakit siya na-depress kasi yung mga kaibigan niya nakapag-asawa na, nakapag-abroad na, tapos may mga magagandang bahay at may ipon pa. So, sa patient na ito, feeling niya nasa last siya parate or nahuhuli siya parate. Kaya naman sa Facebook, panay siya ng post, ng mga fake posts. Okay? To the point na parang ini-edit niya through AI. So ang ending, she is pretending and lying to herself and to other people. And that's why she is currently, pa rin siya, yung parang frustrated sa kanyang buhay. Especially yung situation niya, and iba-iba din yung kanyang mga naranasan. Okay? So, to the point that every day, she would open the social media and compare din yung mga post ng mga kaibigan niya at saka sa kanya. Okay? So, the source of her clinical depression is her frustrations in life and having left in life. Okay? May I ask, do you know someone like this? So, probably din tayo din merong mga ganitong experiences. Okay? Sige, next slide tayo. So, imposter syndrome, as to this topic natin, is a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their accomplishments or yung mga na-achieve nila sa buhay in fear being exposed as a fraud. So, despite evidence of their competence, this phenomenon was first identified by the psychologists Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes in 1970. So this is based from their research. So imposter syndrome is usually at the stage of adolescence. Okay? And as we put it in a theoretical perspective of Erik Erikson's psychosocial development, that each development has crisis. So ito yung base sa psychological research, in which sa adolescence period is having an identity versus role confusion. So, in every stage natin, kasi meron tayong mga crisis to resolve. So, if the crisis is not resolved in this stage, so it would be brought up on the later part in our lives. So, affected din yung mga iba-ibang stage natin sa ating buhay. If resolved naman itong identity and versus role confusion, we could have value of fidelity. Okay? It means that we could understand ourselves, or we could value ourselves. If not, magkakaroon tayo ng confusion sa ating identity. Okay? So not necessarily about sa gender, but also in our identity of what we are in life. Okay? In another theory, sabi ni Freud, it explains that these are our defense mechanism to avoid anxieties. Okay? And also in another theory, sabi ni Carl Rogers, it's more on ideal self and rather than the real self. So kailangan kasi i-balance natin yung ideal self and also the real self. Now, Anong connection nito sa burnout? Okay? Or how does burnout connected with imposter syndrome? So, na-mention na ito ng ating host about sa burnout, di ba? So, ang burnout, by the way, it's a state of emotional and mental and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, overwork, or intense pressure. Okay? So, later I will also share about what's the factor of having imposter syndrome. Okay? So, dahil nga tayo mga students, so tayo ay nape-pressure sa ating paaralan or sa ating academic life. Pwede rin tayo nape-pressure sa ating mga peers or mga kaibigan natin or kahit na sa ating family nape-pressure tayo. So dahil doon, pwede tayong magkaroon ng burnout. And the symptoms of having a burnout is emotional exhaustion, reduced motivation, decrease in productivity, detachment to other people, and then physical symptoms like headaches or sakit ng tiyan or fatigue or laging pagod. Okay? So that is why kapag nagkaroon tayo ng burnout, nagkakaroon din tayo ng imposter syndrome para makaiwas tayo sa mga anxieties natin in life, okay? Or sa mga pressures in life. So, ang ano kasi, ang imposter syndrome, it is also a way of our coping, di ba? Kaya lang, negative coping ang imposter syndrome. Okay? So, with that, I will more explain this on the next slide. Yeah. Sige, next slide po tayo. Ayan. Okay. So, sa slide na ito, I would like to ask you to take a test, then send your result in the chat box, in the Facebook, or also in our this webinar na. Okay? So, I'll give you enough time to balik tayo dun sa other slides. Ayun, okay? Next slide. Ayan. So, kung natapos na kayo sa ano nito, sa take, so I want you to put your result on the chat box. Okay? Sige, next slide tayo na ano. As we continue. So, research suggests imposter syndrome is prevalent among high-achieving individuals. So, yung medyo academically inclined or very high yung kanilang parang yung kanilang goals or very driven sila sa kanilang goal achievements. So, including students, professionals, and entrepreneurs. Okay? So, the common characteristics, by the way, of having an imposter syndrome are self-doubt and insecurities. So, for examples of this is telling oneself with negative self-doubts. Another, fear of being discovered as imposter. So, example of this, pretending or masking, or yung bang make face, pwedeng ganon. Or probably yung bang masaya sa labas pero sa loob hindi naman pala, pwedeng ganon. Another is attributing success to luck rather than ability. So, example of this, ito yung ginagawa ng mga Pilipino din is, bahala na si Batman or kung ako yun. So, naging mga inanak na statements, diba ta? Another, overemphasis on others' perceptions. Okay, example of this is looking at the opinions of others rather than oneself's trust. So, parang nagkakaroon ng detachment sa sarili. Okay? Now, with this research then, sabi nga nila, high-achieving individuals are usually having a gut problem or sa tiyan. Okay? And anxiety attacks. So, sila yung parate. Sila din usually ang madaming what-if sa buhay. Okay? Pero, ang good side naman sa mga taong mayroong high-achieving personality or character or sabihin naman natin attitude, is sila din yung mahilig magplano or mag-strategize. Okay? And most of the time, at sila din yung usually advanced mag-isip. So, ganun yung mga kanilang ano. So, di ba, parang balance lang. Merong negative, meron ding positive. Okay? Now, let's go for the next slide. Imposter syndrome can arise from various factors. So, studies says because of upbringing and societal expectations. So, pressure to excel. Nape-pressure kayo to have flying colors. Perfectionism and high expectations can contribute to self-doubt. So, ang atuang family or nakapalibot sa tua are dako na factor na makahatag sa tua para ma-form ng atuang personality, perspective, o belief. And based also in research, family pressure and peer pressure contributes in our burnout, and at the same time, it contributes also to have this kind of syndrome. Okay, so self-talks are formed also during our early development. So, the way we are treated by our family. So, if we receive in the early developments of negative talks, it could be also our self-talks right now. Okay, so that's another factor to think. Now, we could go to the next slide. The social comparison. So, comparing ourselves or yung bang pagkumpara sa ibang mga tao unfavorably to others can foster feelings of inadequacy. Okay? I know some of you merong thoughts na I am not good enough or I'm not enough for others. Okay? So, dahil dito, nagkakaroon din ito ng impact din sa atin. So, for example, meron tayong like in our social media, yung impact ng social media, based also in research, what we post, likes, shares, or comments are also contributing in our belief system and the perspective to the world. So how do we see the world? Ito din, based din sa research, the more na nagbababad or use of social media or the duration of getting stuck in the social media is correlating in our reality state. Okay? So, kapag masyado tayong babad sa social media, it means that we are not like happy in our situation right now. Okay? Or maybe we are having a reality escape. Or sometimes we become idealistic. So that is why it leads also to imposter syndrome. Okay? Sige, study says, or another study says, next slide tayo, the past experiences. So from traumatic events, criticism or negative feedback can impact our self-perception. Okay? Traumas from family, accidents, or from relationships can contribute to doubting oneself. So sa aking experience as a clinician, or clinical psychologist, marami akong na-handle from sexual assault victim or BAUC, human traffic, and person under crisis or suicide person attempting suicide. Most of them in common denominator is trauma, and it leads them to doubt themselves or questioning their lives, and sometimes it leads to imposter syndrome or just pretending to be happy but deep inside are hurtful. So also it could lead also the trauma into people-pleasing characteristics, and also it leads to unsatisfied life or struggles. So ganun yung mga impact ng trauma. Okay? Sige, another study says, next slide tayo, also our personality traits. So if you have a personality type being perfectionism, and by the way, the perfectionism is not always negative. It is always sometimes positive, but there is also a downside to it. Okay? Sige. Later, I'll just go on topic. Another is anxiety, kung medyo anxious personality. Okay? And low self-esteem can increase susceptibility. So, kapag merong ganitong mga personality type, it could affect also, or it could lead also to a yung bang ganitong syndrome. Okay? So ayon din sa research, our personal traits that develop over time can contribute to our tendencies to be having self-doubts or yung pagkakaroon ng imposter syndrome. So kung ang personality natin ay anxious, then it could affect also the views. Okay? So pag ang personality type natin is anxious, so there would be probably na masyado tayong very parang stringent or very careful sa ating mga decisions or very parang strict or very parang narrow. So may mga ganun. Okay? Now, another study says is the cultural and societal biases or expectation. So stereotypes and biases can lead to internalized doubts. Okay? So pati din ang ating culture and gender-based expectation could lead to imposter syndrome. For example, our Filipino culture na ang babae ay dapat mahinhin or mahina or ang lalaki ay dapat brusko or matapang. So may mga ganun tayo na parang epekto din. So kaya naman nagkakaroon ng imposter syndrome. And another study says, next slide please. Okay. Parang hindi ko yata nadagdag ito. But yung mga transitions and new challenges. So, another reason bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng imposter syndrome is yung ating stages in our life. Okay? So, iba-iba din kasi naman yung mga experiences natin. So, from time to time, yung changes sa ating buhay, it could affect on how we act and how we think. Okay? So, especially yung maturity natin. And by the way, mas nauna talagang nag-mature ang babae kaysa ang mga lalaki. So, ganun. Okay? And then also some neurodevelopmental studies, naka-based din yung maturity sa ating brain development din. Okay? Sige. Now, how do we strategize to cope with imposter syndrome? Sige, next slide tayo. First is to reframe negative thoughts. So later we will have a therapeutic activity about this. So we need to challenge the thoughts, our self-doubts, ano yung nafe-feel natin, and then ano yung mga mga challenges. Okay? So try to reframe it by trying to challenge ano yung mga ebidensya ng ating mga thoughts na bakit ganito yung negative thought natin. Okay? Ano na ba yung magko-contradict or magka-counter sa ganitong thoughts natin? In that way, you're challenging those negative thought natin. Kasi, hindi naman kasi lahat ng negative thoughts natin are proper, di ba? Or hindi naman to talaga totoo. It is just due in our anxiety, di ba? Okay? Sige, next slide tayo. So another strategy to cope with imposter syndrome is to seek support. So share feelings with trusted friends. Based sa studies, nakakatulong din yung pag-marites, by the way. Pero yung positive na marites naman, ha? Wag naman yung negative. And then another is yung pag-mentor, okay? Or maghingi ng advices. Okay? Pwede din naman, but on the professional lang, ha? Huwag naman yung sa ating mga Facebook friends. I-post natin yung ganito, tapos mag-ask tayo. Okay? Another is sa therapist or sa psychologist or sa psychiatrist. It's okay to ask for help with this profession. And also to guidance counselor natin. Try to have connection with also our guidance counselor, ha? Sige, try to reach out kasi sila din is nakakatulong din for us to reframe our negative thoughts or to somehow to cope with this imposter syndrome. Okay? Then next slide tayo. So another strategy to cope is the practice of self-compassion. Okay? So treat yourself with kindness, understanding, just as you would have a friend or to a friend, di ba? Sige. I want you to have a butterfly hug. Ganito. Okay? Butterfly hug tayo. Okay? Butterfly hug. Okay? So, sabi sa psychology, pag nagba-butterfly hug tayo, it means that you are relaxing yourself or loving yourself. Okay? And also, it is going back to our infantile years, di ba? Di ba, hinahag tayo parati ng mga mama at father natin. So, pag gano'n, nakaka-feel tayo ng comfort or nakaka-feel tayo ng feel of satisfaction. Okay? So, with that, you feel like or you practice self-compassion, man. Okay? Another way to have a practice self-compassion is treating yourself well. Okay? Or appreciating yourself. So, sabihin mo sa sarili mo, good job to yourself. Okay? So, okay? Kasi, minsan kasi, so dahil may mga self-doubts tayo, nakakalimutan natin na kakampi din pala natin yung sarili natin. Okay? So, kaya naman importante din yung to have a self-compassion. And then, do not be hard to yourself. If your brain is asking for a sleep while you are studying, then sleep. Okay? If your body is asking for a massage or to take relax, or kumbaga sumasakit na yung katawan natin or nagkakaroon tayo ng fatigue, then it means that our body is asking for a rest, diba? I-massage, pwede rin ganun, nakaka-help din yan sa atin to practice self-compassion. Or, kapag meron tayong mga little achievements, try to treat yourself. Okay? Sa akin, ang ginagawa ko kapag meron akong achievement, mag-ice cream lang ako, yun na, happy child na, happy inner child. Okay? Sige. Another, next slide tayo. Another strategies is to emphasize effort, not just talent. Okay? So, appreciate your effort in studies, appreciate your effort on your non-academic achievements, diba? For example, dumating ka ng early sa eskwelahan, 30 minutes. So, that's an effort, okay? So, that's already like appreciating yourself. Recognize your hard work and dedication. That will contribute to your success, okay? So, again, appreciate the hard work you have. Like, for example, yung natapos mo ang isang SEM or dalawang SEM na walang bagsak. So, those are hard work na. Diba? Or kahit isang bagsak lang, still, you did your best or your effort. Okay? So, minsan kasi ang mga tao fix na makita na, for example, sa 10 ginawa mo, pag merong isang mali, doon na fix na or doon nakafocus, pero nakakalimutan na yung 9 na ginawang tama, diba? So again, try to have self-compassion, then emphasize your effort. Okay, not just talent. Sige. Another ways to cope up, in the next slide, okay, is to develop a growth mindset. Okay? So sabi nga ni Napoleon Hill, you need to have a growth mindset. Okay? Endure the challenges you have or view the challenges as opportunities, growth and learning. Okay? So ito yung mga napansin ko din sa mga ating mga brothers and sisters na Muslims and also mga Chinese. They see the challenges as opportunity. Kaya naman magaling sila sa business, di ba? So yun yung nakita ko. It's a way of seeing the problem as opportunities, okay, and be creative to it. So, for example, sa ating ginagawa, pag naka-experience tayo ng problem, take to somehow strategize kung ano yung pwedeng gawin. Okay? Now, for the next slide, another coping is to focus on strength. Okay? Try to understand ano yung mga strengths natin. Siguro, magaling ako sa sayaw or sa talent. Tapos, hindi ako galing sa academic. So, then try to focus to it. Okay? So leverage your skills and accomplishment to build confidence. Okay? Minsan kasi kapag kumari may time na medyo mataas yung ideal self natin, nakakalimutan natin na yung ating mga strengths is nawawala. Okay? Or hindi na furnished. So kaya naman focus on the strengths you have. So if for example, may time na you're not good at memorizing but you're good at writing, then focus on writing. Okay? Pwede rin naman improve yung mga weaknesses natin, but it would also somehow need to balance pa rin naman. So focus on strengths, then furnish or strengthen your weaknesses. Pwedeng ganun. Okay? So another way to cope up with the imposter syndrome is to set realistic goals. So break down the task into achievement steps to build momentum. Okay? Try to apply the SMART goals. Okay? Be realistic also to your goals. So for example, your goal is to be a millionaire but you are still a student. But, diba? So hindi pa siguro pwedeng hindi pa pwede or maybe depende yan sa status. Okay? But still, mag-set ka ng realistic goals or yung kaya mong ma-achieve. So, it's like also an athlete, diba? If your goal is like to have maybe a 1 mile running, then try to start on small steps. Okay? Maybe start for this month at 25 kilometers, diba? So, by the next month naman, another 50 kilometers until such time you will improve and then achieve those your prior goal. Okay? So, hindi naman kasi pwedeng like for example, your goal is to run for a 1 mile but ginawa mo siyang kunwari ngayon naisip mo tapos kinabukasan gawin mo na for a 1 mile. So, that would be idealistic. Okay? So, kailangan realistic. Sabi pa nga ni Ninya, step by the step. Diba? Okay. Sige, another or how we could cope up with this imposter syndrome is to celebrate success. Oo, di ba? Pag sumakses ka, so try to imagine it, sabi pa nga ni Manino. So, acknowledge and celebrate achievements. Kahit small achievements lang. Kaya gaya ng sinabi ko, kahit na yung mag-early ka sa school or kahit makabasa ka or mas makapasa ka sa yung pinakamahirap na subject, then celebrate it by small things. Okay? Treat yourself. Treat yourself with ice cream or treat yourself with other things. Okay? So, ang iba is parang meron na silang ginawang goals, and then paggagawa ka pala ng goals, sabi sa studies by the way, segue nito, sabi sa studies, kapag meron kang goals, dapat meron ding mga reward na kaakibat. Okay? So for example, your goal is to pass on this subject. So what would be your reward for that? So that would be reinforcing yourself then naman. Okay? So kaya naman, so celebrate your success. Maybe a trip to a place that would be good, or clothes, or maybe materials. Pwedeng ganun sa way to treat yourself. Okay? Now, for the next slide. Sige. Oh, okay. Let's have a therapeutic activities. Okay? So, I want you to listen carefully and I would love to hear your thoughts about this. So, again, if you're following the page or meron na kayong sagot kanina, na doon, paki-chat na yung mga nila. Okay, by the way, meron na bang mga sagot sila?
I think wala pa po, sir.
Okay.
So everyone, sige. Yes po.
Sige,
it's time for your therapeutic activity na po. You can use your chat box for this activity.
Okay. So if you have maybe if you have pen or notebook, you could have one and then try to chat your answer with this. Okay? So, in these therapeutic activities, this is also a CBT, okay, or a cognitive behavioral therapy, which is very effective on those people with anxiety and also very effective with those people with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, by the way, is cognitive dissonance. Okay, when we say cognitive dissonance, ito yung parang mga thoughts natin na hindi maayos or mali yung kanyang thought. Okay? So, sige. Next slide tayo. So, the first activity 1 natin or therapeutic 1 is counter statements. Okay? So, I know there are lots of anxiety producing thoughts tayo. So, for example, here is yung anxiety producing thoughts natin is babagsak ako sa test. Okay? And then, sa rational counter statement, as you can see, is nag-study ako ng mabuti at napaghandaan ko ito. Okay? So, one thing ang ginagawa natin dito sa counter statement is to counter the negative statements natin sa ating isipan. Okay? Especially yung intrusive thoughts natin na paulit-ulit na negative thinking. So, halimbawa dito is, another is yung, halimbawa dito is yung mga other na anxiety-producing thoughts. So, for example, nakita na namin si ma'am. So, yan, anxiety-producing thought yan. Ano kaya yung rational counter statement kaya natin? Anyone? Pero sample lang. Siguro pwede rin naman na yung counter statement natin, nandyan na si ma'am, so greet na ako or maging mabait na ako. So pwedeng ganun. Okay? Sige. This is just another example na you could do self-care natin. Okay? So, anyone from the chat kung ano yung nila sagot? Sige. I'll just give you enough time to answer din naman. Okay? Sige. Sa Facebook page natin, meron kayang sumasagot. I cannot see din kasi yung yung Facebook page.
Yes, sir. So, ayan, everyone, please, if you already have a idea about this activity for your therapeutic activity, you can use your chat box. And for our live participants here in our official Facebook page, please don't hesitate to comment everything na gusto nyong i-share sa atin ngayon, and we will relay it directly to our resource speaker in this Zoom meeting. Ayan. I think merong isa dito sa meron sa chat box.
Okay, sige. Tingnan ko yung sagot natin. Uy, makipag-break na ata siya. Ano kaya yung rational counter statement natin? Pwede rin yung rational counter statement, suyuin ko siya. Pwede rin ganun, di ba? Or, kung natin, siguro yung anxiety-producing thought natin na mag-break na kami. Ito na yung katapusan ng aking love life. Pwedeng ganun ang anxiety thought natin. Pero ano kaya yung pwede natin maging rational counter statement? So, pwede rin ganito. Hindi pa katapusan ng mundo. May nagmamahal pa sa akin. Diba? So, ganun. Pwedeng ganun, diba? Yung rational counter statement. So, in this activity or therapeutic activity, we just need to counter those statements na negative natin. Again, the battlefield is always the mind, ha? So, mahirap talaga kalabanin ng ating isip, especially kung marami tayong iniisip, diba? And most of the time, negative din yung naisip natin. Pwede rin ganito. Malilate na ata ako nito. Pwedeng ganun yung mga anxiety-producing thoughts. Okay? So, ang rational counter statement natin is kailangan kong agahan para hindi ako late. Pwede rin ganun. Or, malapit lang naman ako sa school. So, pwedeng ganun din. Okay? So, that's good. At least you have this activity. Sige, next slide po tayo. Okay? Now, for the activity 2, we need to put our thoughts or putting the thoughts in trials. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, to challenge our thoughts. Okay? Especially in order to avoid our being imposter syndrome. Okay? Or having an imposter syndrome. So, this is most likely for the people na very anxious. This is very effective din sa mga tao. Pessimistic, pwede rin ito i-apply. Okay? So, as you can see, merong tatlong tables. Okay? So, the first one, or the head table, is the thought. So, dito mo isusulat kung ano yung mga thoughts mo. Okay? Or ano yung mga beliefs mo sa school mo. So, for example, here is, I am not good enough. So, hindi daw ako enough. Diba? Parang ganun. Or hindi daw ako, parang, hindi ako sapat. Parang ano na, parang sa love life. Sapat pa ba ako sa love? Sa love mo? So, may mga ganun. Okay? So, usually, eto based sa experience ko pag nag-handle ako sa mga taong with trauma, usually meron silang ganitong cognitive dissonance. Okay? Now, here, let's try to go with this next box. So as you can see, merong defense. So dito na box sa defense, we will try to put the evidence for the thought. Ano ba yung mga past experience natin na parang magsusupport sa ganitong thought natin above, na I am not good enough. Okay? So halimbawa dito, first thing is, parati akong bagsak sa major subjects. Parati akong napapagalitan ng magulang. Hindi maganda ang grado ko. Okay? So, pwedeng ganito yung mga magsusupport sa, or the evidence for the thought. Okay? Now, with another box, the prosecution. So here, you would list or take down yung mga evidence against the thought. Ano naman yung mga mag-go against or parang contradicting sa thoughts? Ano naman yung mga evidences na, oops, tayo. Okay? Contradicting sa itong main thought natin, which is I am not good enough. So, halimbawa dito, first list is multi-talented naman ako. Awarded as a outstanding student. Marami akong non-academic award. So, pwedeng marami ka pang ilalagay na evidence dito. Okay? So, again, ulitin ko So, dito sa taas, isusulat niyo yung thoughts ninyo na either negative or pessimistic or somehow intrusive. Sa kabila naman, sa defense, isusulat nyo naman yung mga evidence na magsusupport sa ganitong thought natin. And sa kabila naman, or the prosecution side, is evidence that will not support the thought. Okay? Or countering the thought. Okay? Now, so below, try to write naman yung mga verdict natin or the judgment. Diba? So para talagang trial court ito. So, kasi yung yung mind natin, kailangan natin challenge nga, diba? So, basahin ko yung judge verdict. So, hindi ko iisipin na I am not good enough. Meron lang talaga na hindi ako magaling, pero mag-focus ako sa mga bagay na magaling ako. Diba? Mas nakaka-counter yung thought natin to the judgment. And magkakaroon tayo ng bagong thought. Okay? So, dito kasi below, it is your new thoughts. Okay? So, I think you have already answered or have tried this activity too. Okay? Sige. So, here is my example. So, jolly naman ako pero walang friends. Okay? Sige. I-share mo nga kung ano yung mga evidence for the thought. Okay? So, siguro yan yung main thought niya na jolly mo naman ako pero walang friends. Okay? Okay, I will wait for the answer. So I really encourage you to somehow share your thoughts. Sige. So, nonchalant na lang, deadma sa basher. Okay, pwede rin. Sige. So, ito na siguro yung kanyang na judge verdict. So, nonchalant na lang, deadma na lang sa bashers. Okay? So, pwedeng din ganun yung ating way to cope with this. Or with this thought. Or probably, kung sa defenses, siguro ang evidence is that walang mga kaibigan. Ganun. Or walang lumalapit sa akin. So, pwedeng ganun yung sa evidence for the thought. And then sa going against sa thought, friendly naman ako. Or probably, pwede rin yung contradicting sa thought is that I am happy person and also I am good person. Pwedeng ganun. So, di ba? Then the judge verdict, nonchalant na. So, with that thought, it would be also effective then. Okay? Pwede rin siguro magiging the judge verdict or the counterpart thought is that maybe I would have not friends, a lot of friends, but there are people like my family that I could be still consider as friends. Okay? So, pwede ganun yung ways of thinking. Sige. With that, let's move on for the next activity 3. So, activity 3 is more on the core beliefs natin. So, try to take shades, okay, your core beliefs. So, situation, core belief, then consequences. So, for example, there are many situations that we have or experiences that we always experience. And then there are always two core beliefs. So first core belief is negative, another core belief is positive. Okay? Then the consequences is the thought, ano yung thought natin, and then ano yung magiging behavior natin. Each, di ba? So halimbawa nito is that you meet a new person and about asking to go out for a coffee. So if you think or if you wear a negative core belief, I'm not worthy, pwede yung thoughts natin is why would he go out with me? Then your behavior or action does not ask the person to a coffee or person for a coffee. Okay? But if our core belief is positive, I am worthy, and then the thoughts natin, we may have fun if we go out together. Okay? Then our behavior or action asks the person to coffee. Diba? So, try always in every experience natin, try to see it in shades, in a positive shades natin. Okay? Now, I want you to select with this, core beliefs natin, itong nasa box na ito. First is, I am unlovable. Second, I'm not good enough. I'm a bad person. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I'm abnormal. I'm boring. I'm worthless. And I'm undeserving. Okay? Now, right now, or at this moment, try to select one and also list three of this na contrary to this core belief natin. Okay? Or try to wear the positive shades. Ano naman kaya magiging thoughts natin or behavior natin with this? Sige. Yung sa akin is I'm boring. So there are really times that I'm silent or nonchalant. Okay? Sometimes I do have thinking like this. So, but contradictorily, some people says I'm a funny person. Or a funny person. Okay? So, may halimbawa dito, share. Not smart enough but willing to learn. So, pwedeng ganun, di ba? So, pwedeng ganun yung ways to see the core belief. So, pwedeng ganun. So, siguro ang kanyang core belief or negative core belief is I'm not smart. Pero yung kanyang ano naman contradicting, or if wearing the positive core belief shade, probably ang kanyang thought that I'm not smart enough but willing to learn, or my behavior is I will learn more on everything, so in my effort. So pwedeng ganon yung kanyang positive thinking or positive perspective. Okay. Oh, eto, may nag-share ulit. So, worthless. I still have friends na naniniwala na mahalaga ako. Diba? So, if you wear positive shades, it could also be changing or countering to us. Okay? So, thank you for sharing with this. Okay? So, I know there are lots of positive and negative impact sa atin, and then to the point that leads to our burnout, and then to have an imposter syndrome. Okay? Sige. So, itong mga activity na ito, you could use this from time to time, or if you have a journal, pwede mo siyang gamitin as to use for your self-care time or your therapeutic activity. Sige, next slide tayo. Oh, okay. So, at this moment, if you really want basahin ko muna yung nag-share. So they said, I'm a bad person, but there's a lot of people na nagsasabing mabait daw ako. O diba? If we focus on the positive perspective or the positive shades, it will change also our behavior. So that we could have no imposter syndrome or action. Okay, thank you for sharing again. So now at this moment, if you want more mental health activities, scan the QR. So I'll give my PDF with this naman to have more activities, and including also yung relationship natin with other people, or how we could improve our relationship with other people. Okay? Sige. With that, at this moment, sige, meron pa bang slide? Oh, thank you. Thank you na. Last slide na pala yan. So thank you at Hiraya Manowari sa inyo. Okay, if you have a question, now I'm open.
Ayan, thank you so much, Sir Leo, Sir Tao, for that very fruitful discussion po about the burnout and the things na how it connects with the imposter syndrome. Sabi nga po ni Sir kanina, when we are having or when we are feeling burnt out, doon na lumalabas yung imposter syndrome natin, which is, it is a bad coping mechanism sa ating health. Okay? Kasi ang nangyayari, mas nagiging mapagpanggap tayo, kumbaga, ang pinapakita nating katauhan sa ibang tao, hindi talaga tayo. So that is a negative coping mechanism. Okay? So now, at this moment of time, if you have a questions, queries, or concerns, you can now comment it on our live stream in our official Facebook page. And sa mga participants natin sa Zoom, you can type your comments or questions here in our chat box. So, ayan. Sa mga participants natin, don't hesitate na magtanong ha, because it is for us students kung paano natin mas malalaman yung mga bagay-bagay na kailangan nating malaman when it comes to our mental health. Because napaka-importante yun sa atin when we are feeling exhausted and pagod na yung utak natin when we are studying. So, yung mga bagay na yun, kailangan nating maintindihan para malaman natin paano i-navigate at maiwasan. Okay? So, monitoring team, if they have questions sa ating live stream, please relay it directly here in our Zoom meet so that mabasa ng ating speaker.
Feel free to ask habang libre pa, mahal ba yan? Mahal ba yung session ng psychologist? Okay, so if you really want to connect with me, meron naman dyan akong binigay na QR just to ask or have a consultation with us on the other matter. So imposter syndrome, by the way, also leads to a person to have identity problem, or yung mental health disorder na tinatawag natin na dati is multiple personality disorder, ngayon tinatawag siyang dissociative identity disorder. So ito yung mga personality, or in one person there are many kinds of personalities. Okay? If you're familiar with Sybil, parang ganun siya. Or yung bago nga, kalimutan ko yung title ng movie, but yung si Professor X ang nag-character. Okay? Oh, okay. There's a question. Sige, ano ang root causes of imposter syndrome? So, as I've mentioned kanina, there are many causes of having imposter syndrome. First is yung upbringing and societal expectations. Another is social comparisons, then past experience or the traumas, and then personality traits, and the cultural and societal biases. So there are many factors din kasi bakit nagkakaroon tayo. When we say the real root cause, talaga, we really cannot identify kasi in just one root cause, but there are factors to consider. So if you're familiar with the theory of biopsychosocial, so that could be also a way to understand the imposter syndrome of each individual. Okay? And iba-iba din kasi naman ang imposter syndrome ng bawat tao. Okay? Maybe they are having imposter syndrome at work or at school, pero pagdating sa bahay, nandun sila sa kanilang real self. So ganun. Sige. So I hope I satisfy you with that answer. Ha? And another question, paano po matutulungan ang isang kaibigan na merong anxiety? Minsan, inaatake siya sa room and we don't know what to do po. Minsan po, kinukurog siya. So, probably you're mentioning or somehow maybe about the panic attacks. Baka yan yung sinasabi mo. Okay? So, in relation sa ganitong imposter syndrome natin, so relative ba ang imposter syndrome sa anxiety? Yes, kasi yun nga, pero ang imposter syndrome is a way or another type of anxiety natin. Okay? Sige, that's for this topic ha. Pero ito naman question mo is more on the anxiety or how to handle anxiety. So ang way talaga natin dyan is to calm the patient or the client. Pakalmahin muna natin. Okay? Kung sinasabi mo meron na siyang panic attacks, that is the time to refer to a professional, to a psychologist or psychiatrist. Okay? So, depende rin kasi yan kung anong level din ng kanyang panic attacks. Probably din, baka social anxiety lang. Maybe takot siya sa maybe mayroon siyang stage fright, so pwedeng ganun. Okay? So yan yung i-consider natin ha. So kung ganun, meron na siyang mga panic attacks, it's time to refer na talaga. So yan lang ang pwede niyong matulong sa kanya. Hindi lang din yan basta therapy lang. So kung kailangan talaga ng medicine, like relatively to the antipsychotic na talaga ng mga gamot or antidepressant na mga gamot, so pwede yun siya. Okay? But si psychiatrist na yun ang mag-offer ha. Okay? So I hope I satisfy you with my answer. Okay? Now, another question. Uy, dumarami na yung question na. Sige. Another question. Ano ang difference ng imposter syndrome sa anxiety or depression? So this is a good question. So imposter syndrome, as I've said niya kanina, I'll just read again the meaning of imposter syndrome. So it's a psychological pattern of individuals where individuals doubt their accomplishment and fear. Okay? So, from its imposter, it means we're masking or taking on a mask just to pretend or to somehow to hide our fear and also to be pretend that on our ways, okay? Or somehow doubting our competence, okay? Those are imposter syndrome, okay? So how about the anxiety or depression? So anxiety is somehow a cognitive dissonance, okay? So ito, pag sinasabing anxiety kasi natin, we advance on the fear, okay? Or we have an imminent danger, okay? So for example, sabi natin na like yung ulap, may itim ang ulap, so pwede magkaroon ng anxiety na, hala, magkakaroon ng bagyo, okay? So, pwedeng ganon, diba? Or pag sinabi namang depression, so depression kasi is there are many symptoms of it. So iba din siya sa anxiety, but partly din is sa depression merong symptoms of having anxiety. Okay? So depression is a mood disorder which is having fluctuation or somehow having low mood. Okay? Pwede ring irritable. So, pwedeng ganon yung kanyang symptoms. Okay? So, magkaiba ba ang imposter syndrome, anxiety, or depression? Yes, magkaiba po sila. But, they are comorbidity. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pwede kang magkaroon ng depression, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng anxiety, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng imposter syndrome. So, they are connected. Okay? So, ganun yung pinagkaiba nila. Sige. I hope I satisfy you with my answer. So, ano po ang advice, o another question na, ano po ang advice na pwede niyong mabigay to someone who think that they may be experiencing imposter syndrome? Okay, this is another good question. Again, I'm not giving an advice as a professional or a clinician. Okay? Just remember that. So psychologists do not give advices or psychologists do not directly give advices. Yun ang right term. Okay? But in another sense or in a therapy session, we really do not give advices, not unless the patient asks for it or advices. Okay? Pero most likely, we do not give advices. Okay? Sige. But here, I will just give an answer with this. So, ano ba pwede natin mabigay to someone who thinks they may have or be experiencing imposter syndrome na? By the way, did you take the test? Sige, balik siguro tayo sa yung sa test. Baka hindi nila na-take. Okay? Kasi nag-slides tayo. Okay? Sige. I will answer now. First of it, try muna natin kung meron yung sa assessment natin. I think in the fourth slide, so try natin yung test. So if nakalagay doon is mataas yung ating yung ating imposter syndrome, okay, sa test result. So ayan, ayun. Fifth pala, nasa fifth slide. So sa test na ito, this is research based. So sa Psychology Today ito na kuha. So that is a magazine na very din sa mga researches about this. So try to take this, and then kung meron talaga siyang mataas na result, then that is the time na pwede natin silang i-refer. So pwede sa guidance counselor. I really encourage you to have a session with the guidance counselor, and then try to have also, siguro kung medyo makabudget, try to refer yourself or with a friend to a psychologist or psychiatrist. Baka need na talaga nila ng therapy. Okay? So, yan lang yung advice na pwede kong mabigay sa inyo. Now, I think for the last question na yata ito, or baka meron pa, so pwede pa kayo magdagdag. So, how can we differentiate normal stress from anxiety that needs attention? So, this is another understanding of the mental health aspect. Okay? So, again, anxiety and stress are still connected with the imposter syndrome. So, normal stress, by the way, there are two types of stress. The eustress and the distress. Okay? So, eustress is yung mga positive natin stress. So, for example, you will in order to gain a high score in the test, so you would study hard. Diba, nakaka-stress mag-study. So, but still, the reward would be high grade, diba? So, those are eustress. Then the distress naman is yung mga negative stress natin. Like for example, yung na-mention natin kanina na we are affected with family problem, okay? Or financial problem. So it could be a stressful thing natin. So normal stress, ibig sabihin, still we can recover, okay? Or still we could understand to have, if you're familiar with the 5 Ds in psychology, sige nga, yung mga psychology student natin. So, first, dysfunctional, danger, and duration. So, yan yung 5 Ds ng psychology, in psychology para masabi natin na ano yung klase or ano na yung level ng kanyang psychological disorder or mental health problem or issues. Okay? So, pag wala siyang 5 Ds, so it means that yung stress niya is normal lang or na-experience niya lang or somehow discomfort lang. Pero, kaya naman makarecover. Okay? So, for example nito is yung sa studies or sa subject na isang subject. Okay? For example, kung wala siya nitong 5 Ds, okay, deviance, distress, dysfunction, danger, and duration, kung wala siya nito, then it means that kaya niyang makarecover with this. Okay? Pero pag sinabi naman natin anxiety that needs attention, ito na yung merong mga malaking nasa 5 Ds or parang meron na siyang mga 5 Ds na criteria. So, for example, meron siyang anxiety, tingnan natin kung meron siyang deviance. So, yan yung pag sinabing deviance, deviates from societal norms or yung bang pag-iiba niya. Iba na yung character niya dahil sa anxiety. Yan yung another criteria na titingnan. Or distress. Meron na siyang significant emotional pain or discomfort kada time na meron siyang anxiety, nasusuka or sumasakit ang tiyan or natatae or sumasakit ang ulo. Yan yung mga distress sign or physical sign of distress. Another, dysfunctional. Pag yung sa anxiety niya, pag meron siyang anxiety ba, hindi na ba siya makagalaw, hindi na ba siya makahinga ng maayos, okay? Or hindi na siya makapagsalita. Pero pag sa crush, hindi talaga makapagsalita ng maayos. Okay? Or yung anxiety ba niya is meron ng danger. Kumbaga, nagkakaroon na siya ng suicidal thoughts or maybe because meron na siyang mga delusional or somehow mga nape-perceive na danger or somehow nape-perceive na or hallucinations. Pwedeng ganon as danger. Or duration, yung anxiety niya ba, ilang months na or ilang weeks na. So those criteria na 5Ds, kapag meron na siyang ganito na it means that it needs of attention na. Okay? And it means na kailangan nang i-directly to the psychiatrist or psychologist. Okay? For the therapy, for the psychologist, and pwede rin sa guidance counselor for proper referral. Okay? So, yan na yung time na kailangan na talaga ng attention. Okay? Sige. So, I hope I satisfy you with my answer, ha? Oh, okay. So, thank you with that question. So, another question, is imposter syndrome the silent GPA killer among college students? That's a good question. When it comes to imposter syndrome, it's not the reason to have somehow a silent, maybe you're referring sa ano ha, yung bang ito yung ba yung nagiging factor natin ang silent imposter syndrome to have baga mawala yung ating gana sa ating sa academic life natin. Okay? It may not, okay, kasi again, imposter syndrome, it could also somehow a way to hide our real competence. Okay? And sometimes ang imposter syndrome, ito din yung parang nagiging natin, way of being a false humble or having false humbleness with other people. Okay? So, maka-apekto ba talaga din sa ating academic life? Yes, it would affect also kasi hindi natin napapakita ang full potential natin or hindi natin appreciate yung sarili natin. Okay? And sometimes imposter syndrome relates to perfectionism. So again, perfectionism, it could be positive and also it could have a downfall. So if extremely perfection na talaga. Okay? So probably there would be time that it could be a silent GPA killer. Okay? But based on the studies, it is not more on the the imposter syndrome. It may be a contributing factor as a silent GPA killer. So yun yung masasabi ko with that question. So I hope I satisfy you with that answer. Galing po sa Facebook page. So that's nice. So good evening po, sir. Sir, do students really rest or are they just numbing the pressure? Okay? That depends din kasi sa resiliency ng students. Okay? So there could be sometimes they would endure the pressure, especially kung highly academic person or highly achieving person. Okay? So kasi pag as I've mentioned nga kanina, with this highly individuals or high achieving individuals, okay, they are always be susceptible with the imposter syndrome. So, is there a sense of self-worth tied to productivity? Yes. And another, leading them to burnout while chasing goals that truly align with their passion, or are they merely trying to meet others' expectations? So, this is a good question. Actually, if I would answer the first question, do they really rest? So that depends on the resiliency of the students. Okay? Is there a sense of self-worth tied to productivity? Said nga, yes, and leading them to burnout while chasing their goals. So that depends on how they believe or how they perceive. Okay? And are they merely trying to meet others' expectations? Most of the highly achieving individuals are tied with the expectation of others. Okay? So again, as I mentioned, yung mga contributing factors natin, one of them is the expectations or societal expectation from the family. Okay? So Kaya naman may especially yung yung highly professional ang family or highly well-known family, na pressure din yung mga anak. Okay? So for example, ang mama or ang papa, doctor or lawyers or mayor or political mayors, na pressure din ang mga anak. Okay? So kaya naman still, that depends on each individual's resiliency or perspective. Okay? That would be a factor then. Okay? Sige. Now, is this the last question na? Or meron pang other question?
Last na po ata, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
sige. For the last question, sir, ano po yung advice niyo sa mga taong takot mag-open up about what they're going thoughts, lalo na when it comes to anxiety or health? Okay? Right now, actually, just a story lang muna. At this generation, because of social media, medyo nagkakaroon na ng open area ang mental health. Okay? So that's a good thing. Meron na from the university, meron din sa other hospitals, so nagkakaroon na ng parang openness with the mental health. Pero, nahuhuli pa, that's okay. Okay. Now, let's go back with the question. So, ano po yung pwede nating i-advise? So, okay, there are many ways to give support with other people with mental health problem or issue. First, you may somehow be a friend or share your experience on having a mental health issue and then referring yourself to other people. Okay? Remember ikaw din ang magiging living testimony about what is the importance of mental health. So, try to share din yung mga experience mo about mental health issues, and then ano yung ginawa mo, and then ano din yung parang or saan ka nagpunta. So yun, nakakatulong din yun, or nakaka-persuade din yun, advices or consultation. Second that we could do is to have like parang siguro try to ask for a professional help. Okay? The guidance counselor na, then ask for advice kung paano siya tulungan. So pwede rin yung way mo to help your friend. Okay? And maybe for the third one is to somehow like to listen first for your friend. Try to listen ano yung kanyang mga experiences. Okay? Maybe gusto niya lang pala ng comfort or someone to listen, or maybe need na talaga ng professional help with the mental health aspect. So now, kung merong mental health na nakikitaan na talaga, like for example, meron ng anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues or problems, then that's the time talaga to have a referral to the mental health professionals. Okay? So, with that, I'm happy to answer your questions, and I hope I satisfy you with yung mga answers ko. And by the way, good thing meron kayong mga ganitong programs na about sa mental health. So, in this way din kasi is na-persuade din natin yung mga students to go with the mental health professionals, and also to our guidance counselors. Okay? So, again, mental health matters, and it is important also, same with the physical aspect. Okay? So, thank you and have a good. So, Hiraya Manungari, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for that very fruitful discussion. And now na alam na natin kung ano nga ba ang burnout and how it connects with imposter syndrome, yung mga strategies kung paano tayo mag-cope up with that situation is very important, especially for us students. Alright. Ayun nga, gaya nga ng sinabi ni Sir kanina, it is really important for us to understand and para malaman yung importance ng mental health natin. Because always remember that a healthy mind is essential for thriving in all aspects of our lives. Alright? So, again, sa mga participants natin in our live streams in our official Facebook page, as well as the participants natin here too. Thank you so much everyone for participating in our fourth and last episode. All right, through this last episode ng ating kapangabong, it really helps us to empower us individuals in prioritizing our mental health. Alright, kung paano natin kontrolin yung ating mga mental well-being, how to build resilience, and kung paano natin i-fulfill yung lives natin nang hindi apektado ang ating kalusugan in mentally. Okay, so at this moment of time, sa technicals ko, ayan, may I request everyone to please open your cameras for our photo opportunity before we proceed sa next proper ng program natin. Ayan po. Technicals, please do the screenshot. Ayan. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smile. Ayan. Thank you so much po, sir. Alright, ayan. So now at this moment of time, okay, a little bit of glitch sa ating presentation. Ayan, at this moment of time, allow me to award the certificate for our resource speaker tonight for the fourth and last episode of our Kapangabong project. Now, this certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Leo Lestare M. Tautau for sharing his expertise, knowledge, and enriching the experience of participants in Kapangabong 5.0's fourth episode with the theme Burnout and Question of Do You Have an Imposter Syndrome? Given this third day of May in 2025 through an online platform signed by the University Student Council President, Honorable Adrian N. Belandres, to the Vice President for Academic Affairs of Cotabato State University, Dr. Kundo M. Pam Jr., and of course, to our University President of Cotabato State University, Professor Sema G. Dilna. Thank you so much again, sirs, for that very fruitful and very makabuluhan na discussion. Talaga namang lahat ng ating mga participants here at Zoom is napatanong kung ano nga ba yung mga bagay-bagay na kailangan namin maintindihan when it comes to our mental health. Ayan. Thank you so much po, sir.
Thank you very much for listening and also inviting.
Yes, sir. Now, sa mga participants natin here sa Zoom and of course sa participants natin live only at our official Facebook page, maraming salamat po sa mga estudyante na nagbigay ng kanilang katanungan, nag-share ng kanilang experience through our therapeutic activity na pinrepare ng ating resource speaker. Maraming salamat po and we really appreciate you guys. So, ayan, thank you so much again po, sir, and maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak na aming invitasyon for the last time. Talaga namang we are very grateful to have you po for this project. Thank you so much po. Ayan. So that ends our live session for tonight's episode of Kapangabong 5.0. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood, naki-join at nag-participate sa ating live stream here in our Facebook Live. Salamat po. Thank you so much. Ayan.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So,
Yes po.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye po.
Yan.